My name's Aid. I'm from Conduco. I actually used to work for Reed Exhibitions for a long time, nearly 7 years, and Infosec was actually the first show that I visited when I first started. So I've watched the show grow, and it's very dear to my heart, so I'm glad that I'm here. And it's really nice for me to follow up on what Alex was saying about engaging with the attendees, because that's basically why I'm here, to turn those engagements into recorded connections that you can follow up on and to give you some intelligence about how to follow up on them. And it revolves around this, which is a Conduco reader, which is then used by the visitor badge. Every visitor badge has a sensor in it. The visitor goes up, touches the reader flashes, you know you've got their lead, and they in exchange get your content. And that is the real key thing about Conduco, is that we know that visitors will engage with you when maybe they won't speak to a salesperson, or they don't have time, or they have, they want to kind of find out a bit more about what you do. Either way, your salespeople can also use this as a way to collect leads, as they would one of the handheld scanner devices, because they can just encourage the attendees to walk up and say, please collect our content. It'll get to you digitally. And the great thing is it arrives on the day that you spoke to them, unlike the follow-up. So what I'm going to do is going to take you through step by step on how it works and how you can get the most out of it. I'm going to start off by showing you another Reed Exhibition show, which is in cosmetics, and they've been using Conduco for about 4 years now, and they've got some highly engaged exhibitors that are using this really well. So here they are in Amsterdam. This is actually the 2018 show. So the entry experience is for the attendees to collect their badge and for that to be linked to their ID, which is where you get their registration information from in the form of leads. We make sure that there's lots of signage around, and our aim is really to make sure that the floor is covered with these readers, so that everywhere that the attendees go, they see the disc, they see the reader, and they go and collect your information. It becomes like a habit for them. It's so easy. They don't have to get a phone out their pocket. They don't have to download an app. They just use their badge around their neck and they go and collect your information. It's up to you where you place them. We recommend you put them somewhere that the attendee is going to find it easy to access, or where they would expect to get information on, like a reception desk. And what you then get is a Conduco account where you upload the content that you want the attendees to receive. You can then view your leads, and you can also download our accompanying app, which allows you to qualify questions, and you can get the license key for the app in your account. You can then look at your account afterwards and prioritize the best leads.
Because it's helped to cover some of the leads that some of our booth members have not been able to make personal contacts with. So it's been a real lifesaver in collecting those type of contacts. It's also just really an easy way to distribute general information about Lonza that can really help inform some of our customers and help them to engage us in the future.
So I want to break it down into what are the real benefits for you and the people that you're trying to engage with. We call it the intelligent trade show. It's about being intelligent about the way you connect and then creating intelligence with the data that drives. At Conduco, we talk about the intelligence gap, and you'll probably be familiar with some of these things from your own experience at trade shows. You can't speak to everyone, though I know that some exhibitors do try. Everyone isn't ready for a sales conversation, and research has been done by Infosec that shows that some of the personas, some of the job roles and types are the more introverted people. So how do you engage with those in a way that will make them come to you? Key buyers have limited time, but they want to consume information. We find that the VIP buyers are the ones that use this the most. We know that brochures often get left behind, either in hotels or on train stations or in airports. And interestingly, people will capture their own digital record if you don't provide one for them. So what information they take photos of may be the only record that they have if you don't provide other information to them. And the old classic, following up with prospects post-show, is easily delayed or forgotten, as we know. And yet we know that as exhibitors, you want to leave the show with as much pipeline business as possible. So how do you avoid losing all these sales opportunities? Well, you allow attendees to collect your information whether they've spoken to you or not. And that might seem counterintuitive until you think about the fact that maybe some aren't ready or some aren't busy. You're busy, there's maybe nobody available, or maybe the particular person isn't available to speak to. Provide them with a reason to come back. Put the time poor in your pipeline. A VIP may not want to speak to everyone, but if they're in your database, you're much better off. Provide a digital brochure that won't go in the bin. Allow attendees to collect all of your best information, including images, brochures, and contact details. And then make sure you send your attendees the information before they've left the event to give them the best chance to follow up. And by that I mean the daily digest of information they'll get from Conduco. This way you get the maximum possible return on investment, quantity and quality of leads and information about what people are interested in. So from Conduco's perspective, we offer our product and service wrap to ensure that you get the best value. We know that attendees love using their badge to collect information, and all that means is more eyes on your products. You can multiply the number of leads captured by allowing this inbound attendee-led lead capture. You can increase the amount of leads you go away with by two or three times. You're going to get more inbound contacts post-event. If people get your information in a timely manner, of course they're going to follow up as soon as they can. You can see the results in real time. Both the app and the reader offload in real time. You'll be able to go into your account and see the leads. And if you download our Stand app, you'll be able to see the leads on the reader. So one, you know it's working, and two, you'll be able to see which people are touching the reader versus the ones that are talking to your sales staff. It's low cost and low effort. The incremental cost and the amount of time to upload content compared to what you're investing on your stand is low compared to the benefit of having multiplying the number of leads you get and getting the intelligence of those people. And the Conduco team is here to make sure you get a result. We've got a support inbox by email if you've got any questions at all. We have a service desk at the event where we'll be distributing the readers, giving you help in making sure that the content that you've got on the reader is ideal for what you want to deliver, and any questions or support that you might have. And then we'll take you step by step on how to deliver the best results. Now, how does it work? Talked about some of the research that InfoSec and RX has done. We studied how attendees use trade shows. They want inspiration. They want to find new things. They want to reflect on their needs and look at products and see how they fit for them. They may have a checklist of things that they want to accomplish or products that they want to look at. They want to hear from experts. They want to see what their peers think, understand what's going on, what's new in the industry. They want to get more hands-on and see demos and really feel for themselves what the products can do. They want to socialize and network with experts and peers to hear other people's experiences. They want to reconnect with the people they know and the suppliers to really improve the relationships and understanding, and of course to have those important face-to-face meetings that will lead to business. Now, what we do is we make every step of that journey for the attendee an opportunity to exchange information. The attendee will receive a trip report identifying all those points. Every time that a reader was there in any of those situations, a speaking situation or a networking event situation, they will record what they did, and therefore they're much more likely to remember all the interesting conversations they had and all the information, all the products that they saw. And so, using only their badge, the attendees can collect your information. They don't need anything else. Importantly, they're expressing their interest in hearing from you. They're opting in by saying, I want your information to hear from you after the event, and they're given access to your content right away. And in your Conduco account, you'll receive their contact details and you'll control what information they receive. So the Conduco toolset, as I said, is the smart badge, which will have the sensor in it. And we find that because it's so easy to use, the take-up rate of usage of the badge is in the 70% range, even in first-time use shows. And that's potentially 2 to 3 times better engagement than other digital tools get. And this Conduco Smart Reader, with its backing disc, it's easy to see, it's easy to collect from, it updates in real time. You can't lose a lead. If that has flashed, it's collected the ID of the badge, and then it's stored on here. If it fails to connect to the internet, it can be manually offloaded. It doesn't run out of batteries during the show. You don't need to touch it. And you'll be able to see on your Stand app any leads that have been collected by it. The Stand app is the kind of app you might be more familiar with. You can collect leads. Your salespeople can take notes. You can even set up your own qualifying questions and, as I said, view the leads that you've got across your team. And your Conduco account brings that all together, enables you to upload your content, manage the readers and apps, and even segment content between different readers if you want to place them on different areas of your stand, and you can see your leads at any time. And the information you download with all that registration intelligence is going to enable you to prioritize the best leads. So what actually do you need to do to make this happen? Well, the first thing is really important. I think building on what Alex was saying, thinking about how you're planning to engage attendees. Do you have product displays and demonstrations? Do you have meetings tables? Do you have product placement in a showcase area, maybe on your stand or another area of the show? Are you speaking on the booth or in a theatre? And do you have a sponsored event or party? Because all of these are areas that you may want to place a reader, either with general information or specific information about product. And not only is it going to allow you to collect more leads, it's going to allow you to understand which of those things that you're investing in your show strategy is the most effective. It comes together in this daily digest. This is what the attendees receive. As I said, it's got a timeline which shows where they went, who they collected from, and then as they scroll down, it will have the profile information from you if they've collected from you. So therefore, this is your digital shop window. This is your ability to stand out from the crowd. Make sure that they've got all your best information. You just need to activate your account, upload those images, and allocate them to the reader or readers that you've purchased. There's an opportunity to put a whole load of information on there, including documents to download, images, as well as a content description. This is what the app looks like when you when you scan a lead. That's the image there comes up with the basic information, and that's stored to your device. You don't need to do anything else once that's scanned, but you can add details. It will scroll down. You can qualify with questions. There's a standard list of questions in there, but you can configure your own. You can see there that you can keep track of your leads. The individual can see how many people they've scanned, how many the team has scanned, and how many have been scanned by the readers. And you can go back in there and search for individual leads if you wanted to do that during the show. All you need to do is go to the Play Store, the Apple Store, and search for Conduco, and you'll find the app there for you. If you want to set up your own qualifying questions, actually, that's a bit optimistic. As long as you do it a day before the show, what we don't want is the show to start and you're editing things, because that's going to make the data hard to understand. After the show, you want to go in and look at your leads, and you would log into the account. You can export the file in an Excel or CSV format. It's a good idea to decide who's going to have access to the account on site. It's likely that your marketing person may set up the content beforehand, but it's good for somebody on site to be able to check that, make sure they know what's on each reader, and then to be able to go in, download find the activation keys for their apps, and to download the leads, or just to keep track of them during the show. What happens at the show? On arrival, you'll check in with Conduco at the Conduco desk, which will be in the exhibitor services area. You'll receive your readers. Make sure that somebody has the login credentials, and any help you can get on getting the best results. We'll give you the readers that you're allocated, and this backing sticker or any other backing information that we've got, the ability to stick it onto your stand. Some just quick examples here of how you can place readers. You can place them on a tabletop, because as long as they're at a height where, remember, everybody's going to have a lanyard around their neck. That's a limitation of where to put them, because you don't want to strangle themselves by going too high or too low on coffee tables. But there you've got placement next to products. This example here, it's in entertainment, but if you've got different products around your stand and your stand's fairly big, then you might want to actually segment that and create different product displays or demos. Anywhere where there's going to be high traffic or people expecting to collect information, it's a good place to put a reader, as well as you can put them on tabletops vertically so that they're more visible. So make sure that you prepare your team. We've got a printed guide for on-site to make sure that everybody in the team understands what it is. Check your content. Make sure you place your readers where the attendees can see them. Download the stand app to your devices. Distribute your activation keys, and make sure that all the staff know how both the readers and the apps work. And it's a good idea to include a lead update in your daily team meeting. I'm going to do a webinar in the run-up to the show, which will give you a sort of blow-by-blow account on how to set up your account. I just want to make sure that I've got time for questions today. But the basics of it are that we'll send you a link so that you can then activate your account. There's the ability then to put, you'll see in your account what you've purchased. You can set up content. And the idea is you set up content in your library, and then you go to the publish section where you'll see the list of readers, and you allocate a piece of content to a reader, and it's as simple as that. And that way you can either decide to put the same content on each reader, or you can differentiate it and you can use them to understand what the different needs of the attendees are. What I would always say is that, I mean, it's tempting to just put what's in your directory on the readers. What you want to do is understand, what is the next piece of information that they want. I think it's that on one hand, white papers is a good one, because if you let people know, oh, there's a white paper, that's going to attract them. And that's, in terms of the qualifying the people, I think that's a much better idea. But it could be if you've got more technical specification information. So maybe you could split it by persona. So if you're talking to a technical person, you could have technical information on one. White paper would be a more general one.
And can you upload videos as well?
You can't, no, but you can put URLs in there. So yeah, so just to quickly cover off, that's you'll get your activation keys. The number of app licenses you've bought, you'll see in there's 4 license keys. The license key is the same. They can be used concurrently. So you can use 4 devices at any one time if you bought 4 licenses. So you want to swap them between staff on different days, you can do that. And you can also set up your own questions, and there's a bunch of default questions in there about level of interest, timescale, etc. And then, of course, you go back in and you can see your leads, remembering that attendees are collecting from the reader and you're scanning leads. You can see that there in the detail, whether they've collected from the reader or the stand app, or both. Because sometimes you may actually ask them to collect content, but you want to qualify them with notes because they're an interesting lead.